Can you guys imagine if I wrote out the entire night before Christmas to the week before Christmoose? Okay, I did. Ready? No, I didn't do that. I'm not creative enough nor forward-thinking enough to do that. What we are forward-thinking enough to do is shoot some moose and see if we can get a great one before Christmas. I think, unless anything changes, that's a decent one. This will probably be the last stream before we head to Georgia for Christmas. So, gonna see if we can clutch up and get a great one. Would be nice to at least get a diamond. We're running on a couple of streams in a row with no trophy moose at all. I just saw too, that guy down there, which I did not realize was there. But kind of a decent start. There's actually a bunch of moose in one of our main spots, which is not exactly something that we're used to. What's up, Danny? I saw Will in here, Breeze in here. Happy Moose Day, everyone. Moose Day, I like it. There should be an moosing stream. I certainly hope so. We will see if the moose cooperate to make that a thing. Is that... Okay, I think we got all three. Maybe a good start. Almost got 200 hours and only 7 diamonds. I think at 200 hours I had 2, so you're doing better than I was. What's up, K-Flow? No worries, Parker. What's up, man? Snow day. It is snowing outside. My Titans have let me down again. The second division matchup in a row where we missed an extra point and lost in overtime. Oh, was there a missed extra point in that one too? I didn't know that. So I didn't, what did I have? I had... What? Oh, Dolphins Jets was the one that was on CBS, and that game was a blowout. So they changed coverage over to Titans Texans, but I think it was already in overtime, or maybe the last drive before overtime. I think I got to see. I didn't realize that was another missed extra point game. What's up, Deadman? Go H-Town. Hey, I'm kind of hoping to see CJ Stroud in the playoffs, so I can get behind them winning. It is unfortunate that I picked the Titans for my picks video. That kind of sucks. But it do be that way sometimes. We aren't supposed to get along, me being a Jags fan. I'm trying to, like... I must have stopped watching that game a little bit. I know the Ravens won, but... I can't actually remember how it ended. Look at all these football names here. What's up, Jets fan? My Panthers finally won again? I didn't see that coming. That may be enough to get Arthur Smith fired at the end of the year, because how do you... Like, they were literally leading the division and in line for a home playoff game, like 2 weeks ago. No one ever answered me on a live stream. Sometimes it's like that. Chat moves fast. It's hard for streamers to pick up, you know, every individual message, but we try. Do you watch any basketball? Unfortunately, no. It's just not something that I've ever really been into watching. I played basketball when I was in grade school, so I was like interested enough in it, but even at that, I didn't watch it. Seahawks are free-falling. Does anybody know if Jalen Hurts is going to play tonight? Because apparently he's sick, and like there's a real chance he doesn't play. That would really change up the Seahawks' outlook tonight. Just started playing Call of the Wild. Nice, Irvin. Don't know about your Vikings. You know, they're such an odd team. If Kirk Cousins was there, they'd be better than last year. Almost certainly. The record may not be. But as far as like quality of a football team, I could say with, I think, a pretty good degree of certainty, they would be better than last year if Kirk was there. Their defense is playing legit. Now, that's a thing you see, like when a backup quarterback comes in, defenses really step it up, so maybe that's part of it. But it sucks to see. They just can't get any consistency out of the quarterbacks. Did you see where Derrick Henry didn't get any Pro Bowl votes? No. Why? Well, Mostert, right? He'd probably be number 1. Trying to think of AFC running backs. Probably not the guy in Houston. What's his name? He was a rookie last year. He was really good. Probably not Steelers. Jalen Warren might have gotten a couple of votes. Maybe someone from the Ravens, but that's almost like running back by committee. Mixon, maybe. James Cook after last night, maybe. Josh Jacobs got more? Has he done anything this year? Damian Pierce, that's the one. I was going to say Pierce, but I couldn't think of his first name. Think the Broncos are going to be okay, not thinking they're going to postseason? Is that what you're saying there? It's definitely tougher now. Dropping that game, they already lost to Houston, right? So that's one wild card tiebreaker they don't have. Right now, is it Cincinnati, Cleveland, and Indy? So if any of those fall off, Houston's still kind of in line next, I think. Jets O-line is trash. I saw a thing where, like, Mekhi Becton was walking off the field laughing, and apparently a lot of Jets fans did not find that funny. How many Moose kills do you have? Honestly, man, I wish I knew. I really, really lost count. At one point, I was keeping close track, but we basically, you know, stopped grinding Moose for the better part of, I would say, probably like 6 months. So, you know, off and on, we'd go and shoot a couple. I just don't know where we're at. I would say easily 4,500, maybe a bit more. That was, I wish we had kept on watching that. They like mirrored exactly when they went down. What gun should I get as a first gun in Call of the Wild, and what is a good way to get money? Okay, honestly, even if you don't own Taiga, I'd go to Taiga multiplayer and just shoot every red deer and fallow deer you see. You're gonna level up real fast. As far as good first weapon, if it were me, because I think you get the 270 for free, and if you're not gonna purchase any DLCs, I would just try to save up till you get the 7 mil, because it's such a game changer, it's worth it. What's rare for bobwhite quail? I think only albino. Stubble quail have another one. Dark brown or something like that. But I'm pretty sure bobwhites are just albino. What do you think about the Bills winning? So I'm kind of annoyed I picked the Cowboys in that game because I didn't look up the weather. And like, I know this will sound dumb, but genuinely, had I known it was going to be rainy, I would have picked the Bills. I only picked the Cowboys because the Bills' home field is turf, and the Cowboys have played really well on turf. But the rain naturally is going to slow things down, so I wish I had looked into that. I didn't think it would be like that, though. Like, I certainly thought it would be even a low-scoring shootout, if that makes any sense. Mostly air yards, right? Josh Allen and Dak Prescott going back and forth. I didn't see the Bills' defense shutting them down like they did, and I didn't see James Cook having 200 yards. What's up, Cryptic? What lake is that? That is this biggest lake in the southeast area. No bulls at this lake. This has been kind of consistent too. Like the last couple of times we'd fast travel here, and it would actually spook them and they'd run right by us. Talk about the Browns yet? No. So they didn't have that game on, which was unfortunate. It ended up, I think, being a good game. I know Flacco had 3 interceptions. I don't know if that one was his fault, the pick 6 to Tremaine Edmonds. I know there was that long ball at the end to Amari Cooper. That tied it. Did they get it back? No, the Bears were up by more. How did they get the ball back to go and win it? Because I know there was the 4th and 1 where Justin Fields got tripped up. But I didn't get to see, like, how the Browns got the ball back to win it. Are the Bills back to being a Super Bowl favorite? I don't know about a favorite. I don't think anybody wants to play them. I think they could beat the Chiefs again. I think they could beat the Dolphins. Who else is in the AFC? I don't think they can beat the Niners, to be honest with you. Any given Sunday, you know, it could happen. But I don't think, you know, if they played that game 10 times, I think the Niners win 8 or 9 of them. Ooh, boy, hi. Maybe? Don't quite know, and we can't get him spotted. Didn't get him. All right, he's actually going... We might see him in the open up here. If not, we'll get him on a later run. What is the best Great One? So that's always tough to answer, but like, in terms of the best Great One concept, I actually do think it's Moose, funny enough. I just saw someone post one, they had it on Yukon, and it looked so cool. I so want one. But, the struggles of doing it, and especially the struggles of grinding on Yukon, like, the areas they can drink at. Bravo to anyone that's grinding there, because it is certainly not something I want to do. Do I think Rodgers will return? Well, the Jets I think they're officially eliminated, right? So that probably makes it less likely. I kind of think he might come back and play. Only because so many people in the media are speculating like, actually he didn't tear his Achilles. Actually he's never been going to come back. This has all been a publicity stunt. Knowing Rodgers, I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back literally just to like prove those guys wrong. What time do mule deer drink on Rancho? 15 to 1800, I believe. Is this the moose proper time to join? Moose pun to answer. I believe so. What did you say? Oh. I thought you said like moosty or something. Started on Yukon for my first 3,000 kills. My last 5,400 were on Medved, and I got it. I've been all over the place, to be honest. Like, I started on Medved, then I went to Layton. I tried Reventuli for a little bit. And I've just kind of ended up back on Medved because in terms of numbers and consistency, Medved has been the best for us. It's not like we kill a lot of moose. Over the course of this stream, we might get 50, which ain't bad for 2 hours. It's not great. But, Layton's like 20 in 2 hours, maybe 30. And Reventuli, like, the numbers are good, but it's the amount of places they can drink. Eventually you start shooting them and moose start disappearing and spawning elsewhere. What's up, Ryder? Huh? For moose or whitetail? It is possible. But I also don't have the time to grind like non-stop, so I just get once a week. Should have went to Yukon? It's the water in the east that keeps me from going there. Everywhere else, I think Yukon would be a great option. Now, the wolves could be a problem. But I look at Yukon as something that could work. And frankly, what it comes down to is, like, am I willing to... what's the, like, shoot zones down or whatever they call it on that east side? Because that would make Yukon really easy if you did all that. I just don't... I don't like to grind that way, so I try to avoid it. Probably I should just do it, but we'll see. Reventuli is your favorite for moose? I think as far as the pure amount of moose you see, it is probably the best option. I will say one nice thing about Medved, even though that level 4 got away from us. Ones that are kind of running in the distance, it's a little easier to, you know, see them. Maybe you can catch them running between trees and get them spotted. That stuff helps. Told my wife we should get matching antlers, but she said it was just a moose steak. I think we should do moose puns the entire stream. Harvest anything RL, 3 does. No bucks this year, unfortunately. Still got the late season, you know. Might get lucky. I'm more so worried about trying to get another doe and fill the freezer a little bit more. As a family, I think we ended up with 9 deer. So I feel pretty good about the fact that I shot a third of them. But usually we're shooting for around 10, so if one of us can get a deer in the late season, that would certainly help. Because there's reaching a point now where, like, you know, Kyle and I have a whatever percentage of the venison we'll take. My brother and his wife, now they have their own house, so they're going to have some amount. My sister and her husband are probably going to have some amount, although I guess theirs maybe isn't factored in as much because he does a good bit of hunting like elsewhere, and obviously that doesn't get like split in. How about them Steelers? Aren't they just the best team? Wait, is this still 2008? It's a mess. It's bad. And you know what sucks too? They looked so bad against the Patriots. Kind of made a comeback in the second half, but it was all fake. They didn't even, you know, in the end, couldn't do it. And then, I guess a good first quarter against the Colts, and then terrible for 3 quarters. And I'm sitting here like, you know what? I'm done. It's over. The season's over. Why put my effort into this? And then I watched Mike Tomlin's press conference, and he can talk you into running through a brick wall, and now he's got me convinced they're going to do something good this week. Planning on making any more classic videos. Got one coming out tomorrow and one coming out a week from today. So there obviously will be no stream next Monday. That's going to be Christmas Day. There will be the annual Christmas special, and I'm planning, I don't want to commit to this 100% because I gotta edit some stuff on my laptop when I'm in Georgia, and we'll see if I can get all the stuff together to do this. But I want to make, I've done it for a couple of years in a row. I want to do like a Call of the Wild wish list for Christmas Eve. So I've got that planned, the 2 classic videos that I mentioned, and I think so far I've recorded 3 Call of the Wild videos and 1 Way the Hunter, and in my opinion at least, they've all been pretty good videos. They've all had at least 1 significant trophy, so I think we're in a pretty good spot. It was all Matt Canada's fault. So this is, I was talking to JTAC, I don't know if he happens to be in here or not right now, but it's obviously still his offense. They can't just install a new offense in the middle of the season. So I would like to see Kenny with like a competent offensive coordinator. I don't care, you know, you're not going to get Brian Johnson unless you fire Mike Tomlin and hire Brian Johnson as your head coach. Brian Johnson is becoming a head coach somewhere. So you're going to have to find like maybe a Joe Brady. I don't know, like he was the quarterback's coach in Buffalo, now he's the OC. They probably retain him, but maybe you can lure him away. You're going to have to find like an assistant coach because you don't normally have an offensive coordinator just switch teams. Like you usually gotta hire them from a lower position. But I'd like to see, I mean, you saw it in the Bengals game, 400 yards of offense and stuff. If there was some creativity there, they have it. Steelers are 1-3 since firing him? Yeah, but I wouldn't exactly, if you look at the defense and stuff, they gave up 3 touchdown passes to Mac Jones. They gave up 24 points to Kyler Murray. This Colts game was kind of a whole team collapse. I will say the offense was definitely responsible, but it's also been Trubisky for 2 games. So, say that it wasn't Canada's fault as much as anybody wants, but Matt Canada has a lot to do with where they are right now. Oh, where do we want to go? I guess we can do this part real quick. Gonna get the great one in today's stream is gonna be a Christmoose miracle. I'll tell you what, it would make it really easy on me. Hey, Byron Leftwich. Forgot about that name. Anyway, it would make it really easy on me if we got a great one moose today, because then instead of maybe having to record for, normally a video takes me 2.5 hours, there's one additional video that just comes out of this stream. Frankly, if we kill a diamond or a rare today, I might do a moose run video and just throw that in. But one reason I haven't done any moose grinding content is because, you know, we pretty much only have moose grinded on stream for the last couple of months. I don't remember the last time I did a moose grinding video. And thinking or knowing that I'm not going to get a trophy moose of any kind doesn't exactly make me want to make a moose grinding video. So if we get something, maybe we can do that. Kenny's been out for how many games? As far as that losing streak goes, they were winning or tied against the Cardinals when he went out. And it'd be interesting to look. Not Super Bowl. Google autocomplete. What was the final score? It's 24-10. I think then it must have been 3-3 when he got hurt. So it has since been, that'd be 21-10. Steelers pass was 21-18, so like 42-28. And the Colts scored. So they've been outscored 73-41 since Kenny went out. Not that Kenny plays defense. But I've got one working theory left for like how they were actually, like there were a lot of places that had the Steelers a top 10 team 4 weeks ago. Unless there's some sort of confidence in Kenny to get it done or some kind of leadership there, I don't know why they were actually good, because my God, do they look bad without him. What's up, Pizza? Who gave Bean Boy a wrench? You know, he said he was going to eat it with his beans on toast. I expect a 12 Days of Christmas special on the channel. You know, I do wish that I could do more like creative stuff like that. For one, I'm not forward thinking enough. For two, coming right out of hunting season, I usually don't have the time. And then for three, because we travel for the holidays, I have to prep content, and doing videos that I know how to do and can do effectively is probably the better route there, because I just don't have the time. But I was thinking of it this year. Could I do like a 12 Days of Flintness or something? And we're well past the 13th, so now it's not going to happen, but I'd like to do something. I don't know. No more Tomlin would be a moosterpiece. You know, I'm kind of beyond, so we had this conversation maybe on Twitch. I'm kind of beyond the who would you hire. If they want to move on from him, I think that's a perfectly fine decision. If they want to stick with him, I don't think it's a bad decision necessarily. If you listen to my dad Saturday night, it is time for him to go. My dad has not been a Tomlin fan probably since, oh, I don't know. When was their defense first bad? With like the Cody Sensabaugh and Mike Mitchell, Sean Davis? Like 2014? Somewhere around there, when the Steelers defense started being bad. That was when it was over. Can't blame Tomlin for the failings of the players. So that was another conversation JTAC and I had earlier in Discord. Since 2017, I don't blame Tomlin for too much. They really haven't had good rosters. That 2017 team was really good. And they have kind of since slowly fallen apart. 2018 was alright, 2019 was the Roethlisberger injury, 2020 and 2021, Ben didn't have it in his right arm anymore to really get it done. And then you've had the couple of Kenny Pickett years. That said, they still should have been more competitive in and around the playoffs. But you look at, you know, a lot of those years between 2010 and 2017, they should have gotten more done than they did. I mean, your dad gonna talk sometime? Good luck getting him to go anywhere to accomplish that. You'll have to catch him at a gun raffle or something. Is this multiplayer? This is single player. Didn't you go 11-0 in 2020? Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, that 2020 team was not good. They really weren't. They were a little bit of, like, what they are now. The defense would step up and make a big play towards the end until they just couldn't do it anymore. Who was the, that was the Bud Dupree year. So Bud Dupree got hurt in the 11th win. I think it was against the Ravens. That was like a Tuesday night, or it was in Buck season. Wednesday night game, something like that. It was weird, you know, COVID moved all those games around. I remember Bud Dupree tore his ACL, or it was a bad injury. And they went 1-5, I guess, every game after that. That loss on the defensive line, it made such a big difference. They were no longer able to, like, have that game, you know, changing play. What's up, Colson? Did you, or do you herd manage? If there's like a level 2 moose, I don't shoot it, but I don't do the thing where you like shoot down zones and have like kill zones and not kill zones. I don't know what they call that. I just try to shoot big moose and not shoot little moose. Simple as that. Feel like there's been more diamonds and rares since the water turned into milk? Me too. How many diamonds have you shot? Good question. You're talking about overall, not just moose, because I don't have a clue on the moose. 1,350. No. What is it actually? It's off by 300. 1,150. That was hard. Anybody know how to do math around here? Where are you in the whole Tom Segura fiasco? What is the Tom Segura fiasco? What's going on there? I only just started watching like some 2 Bears 1 Cave stuff again, like literally last week. I am out of the loop. Not shooting level 2 moose as the only mechanic has already landed me 2 great ones. I think, and I don't know, man. Like I'm thinking I got probably something on this map that's messing me up. My idea would be maybe there's a diamond moose somewhere or 2 diamonds that I'm just not finding, because the amount of non-substantial respawns we get is kind of alarming. But it certainly seems to work. Like, you really don't have to get too technical with the whole, you know, shooting zones down, and there's some very specific strategies that have been used over the years. It can kind of be just as simple as shoot decent ones, leave little ones. Jets should fire solid. I don't know. I don't know where I fall on that one. I kind of think he's a good coach. He has a little bit of Mike Tomlin in him. It seems like he can get the most out of his players when, you know, their backs are completely against the wall. But then maybe when their backs aren't against the wall, it's like the ability to motivate's not there. My entire Instagram and Twitter is just filled with Lions victory memes. My Twitter is a mess. It's so crazy how, like, you don't even have to interact with a post anymore. If you take the time to, like, read it, you're gonna get nothing but that all over your timeline. So I'll see one post complaining about Mike Tomlin. That's the next 50 posts I see. And then maybe because it's football related. By the way, I have another thing I'll talk about there. I'll see like a Browns related thing. And I'm like, well, I have to read this. I want to see what the Browns fans are complaining about. And then I see every Browns beat reporter's tweet in the next like 30 tweets. I didn't want that. I just wanted to see what this said. But those, whatever, it's like JPL football and ML football, whatever the heck, all those, whatever the heck kind of accounts, those fake insiders and stuff, they are starting to drive me insane. The amount of just rage bait. What is this? The Chiefs ran a route and got called for offensive pass interference. They're getting screwed. Like, why are you posting that? I don't want this. He's losing fans, calling his fans the poors. A lot of people are not listening anymore, I saw. I say it was a joke. I'm sure he's not concerned about it. But I think if you're a fan of a comedian and then they're making jokes and you're missing the joke, you probably weren't going to be a fan of them for long anyway. Did that super chat go through? I didn't hear it. Anyway, Danny, thank you for the super chat. What backup QBs do you think will start in 24? Okay, well, Mr. Trubisky's obviously getting like a 12-year deal somewhere. He's been great. I think Gardner Minshew might. Who else is playing backup? I don't think Zach Wilson's going anywhere. There it is. Think of the super chat, Danny. Who else might? I have to like look and see. Jake Browning? I actually don't know that Jake Browning is going to end up starting. We'll see what happens the next couple of weeks. But you'll kind of get this with backup quarterbacks sometimes when they come out. Like even Josh Dobbs kind of. They look quite possibly starter worthy for a couple of weeks. And then teams kind of find out, like, you get a couple of weeks of tape on them, like, oh, actually, these tendencies and stuff, if you stop that, he's an NFL backup quarterback. So we'll see if Jake Browning can kind of, you know, continue to get better. But I'm not sure if his small amount that he's gotten to play is going to get him into a starting job. I need to look and see who else playing as backups right now, because I am drawing a blank. And I know there's a bunch. CMC get for fourth quarter. What? I'm missing something there. Been trying to start a grind rubbing to the kills for whitetail. How much money do you think I would need to get one going? Realistically, you probably only need tents. I mean, you can start a grind with like 5 tents. You'll ideally want to get up to the maximum amount you can place, which is 16. That would cost whatever 16 times 16 is. Math is not my strong suit. But, yeah, you could get it going with 80,000 in-game monies and slowly build up. What about Dobbs? I think he has played himself... I don't know that he was ever playing himself into a starting role to begin with. I think, you know, he maybe went from third stringer to second stringer. The way he played... I don't know that he ever necessarily played himself into a starting role. Now, when he got to Minnesota and started doing that stuff, I thought there was a chance, but that pretty quickly fizzled out. Tommy DeVito, man, maybe for a little bit there, I was thinking, because he's kind of like a Daniel Jones with a personality. I don't know if that's kind of rude, but he's got some mobility. He's probably not quite as athletic. I don't know if he's as good at throwing the football either, but he also hasn't had the amount of experience. Similar skill set, though. And I was kind of wondering if they may lean that way, but I don't know if that's going to end up working out. Hope everyone has a great Christmas next week. So do I. What happened there? I was afraid he may have been fleeing, so we went for that shot fast, but I don't know where we hit him. Fantasy team got oof maloned this week. My fantasy team did too. Aaron didn't even put a quarterback in and I still lost. Greetings from Serbia. What's going on, man? Welcome on in. What do you think the most sought after diamond is? Outside of any kind of super rares? Most sought after diamond. It's got to be one that's really rare, right? Because if it's something that's easy to get, it's not sought after. Maybe like... red fox, raccoon dog, one of those like small legendary animals. It'd be interesting to actually see, like, what's that one thing that, you know, if you made the entire community write down, what's the one diamond you still don't have that you want to get? I'd like to know the answer to that, but I gotta think it's one of those smaller predators. How many pink feral pigs do you have? I do not know. A couple. Besides birds, what's the easiest diamonds? Ibex. Oh yeah, Sleep, I got beat pretty bad. My whole team, like, Najee Harris had 1 point. D-Hop had a couple. Derrick Henry had nothing. Dak had, like, 5. Like, it was rough. I did pay Bottom Boy to make sure he'd smoke you, though. It looked, so, like, Aaron accidentally left Justin Herbert in. He played Thursday night. And it literally looked like I told Aaron, like, hey, you're not going to make the playoffs. Just, you know, don't play your quarterback. Let me win. And then he whooped me by like 40 without a quarterback. So I'm kind of glad that I lost, because I didn't want anybody to be like, hey, did you tell Aaron to not play any of his good players? Doesn't make me feel good for the playoffs, though. You had Najee. Dude, my receiver situation is a mess. I got Mike Evans. I had Calvin Ridley. I traded him for Brian Robinson. Good lord. Kyla's computer just exploded. What happened?
I was trying to grab it, and then it was like, nope.
What was it, your phone?
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, I know, there was one during the video earlier, too. Okay, let me go back. I had Calvin Ridley. I traded him for Brian Robinson, who's hurt, so that's cool. So I have Nico Collins. He was out. Got Mike Evans. He did okay. And then I have D-Hop. And I don't even think I have anybody else right now, because I think I was going to pick up Dobbs. But, like, I've been starting 3 running backs. Been putting a running back in the flex, because I just have just atrocious receivers. Why would you auto-optimize, then? For most wanted diamond, I would say Chamois now, since they're so hard to find. Chamois is a good one. What's up, Luke? Shot a moose calf IRL a week ago. Is moose veal a thing? Like, genuine question? Do people do that? I don't even remember who I drafted, JTag. It didn't... Obviously, Ridley was in there. Evans was in there. It just didn't work out this year. I picked Kelsey as my 5th pick because I just happened to be in that slot. Ended up trading him for Kyron Williams, which has kind of saved my season, to be honest. Because I was like 2-6 or something. Now I'm 8 and I don't know. I'm gonna end up being the 4th playoff seed somehow. Auto optimize has literally been my strategy. I didn't do it the first few weeks when I started on a heater. Fair enough. A little stitious. Pick up Pittman if he's available. Aaron has him. He's a Colts fan. Literally the best receiver available, I believe, is Romeo Doubs. And the problem with that is Jalen Reed and Christian Watson and, what was that other guy's name? He made that touchdown catch against the Giants in the corner of the end zone, front corner. Anyway. Dobbs is not likely to get high volume targets, so it's really tough. Smart fantasy football tip, put Taysom Hill at your flex. Our league doesn't allow tight ends at flex. Which is probably dumb. I can change that. I am the commissioner of said league, but I can't change it now. Thought Pittman died based on the NFL's reaction? Dude, so you told me this, but I'll say this for anybody else that's not aware. The NFL suspended Damontae Kazee for his hit on Michael Pittman Saturday. That, Like, literally all he did was get in the way of a guy diving to catch the ball. Like, he didn't launch at his head. He did, I will acknowledge there was probably a risk of, like, a neck injury. But at the same time, his other option was just to let the guy catch it. Like, it really wasn't a malicious intent hit that should get you suspended for 4 games. NFL playoffs are stupid. The Bucks are in the playoffs and the Cowboys are in the wild card. Like, they are kind of stupid in some ways, but I also kind of like that. Because the thing that makes football great is the any given Sunday aspect of it. Like, remember the Beastquake run? Marshawn Lynch against the Saints. They beat the Saints that game. They were 7-9. They didn't even have a winning record. And they won a playoff game. Now, they didn't go to the Super Bowl or anything, but the fact that you can have those teams getting in, I think it makes it more fun. How do I get the Texas Lodge? You're talking about in Classic? You can purchase it in the Trophy Lodges section. I will say it's expensive. I think it's 3,000 EM or something like that. So it depends, you know, if you're big on Trophy Lodges and stuff in the game. I think it's worth it. I love that lodge, but it is on the pricey side. Just make them play without helmets or pads and they will hit each other as hard? Maybe. Depends on who you let play. If James Harrison's playing, look out. He might see if he can get on a roster again if they did that, actually. Favorite reserve at Leighton Lakes. It was dangerous, I'll grant that. I don't think it's suspension worthy, though. Like, there's a lot of dangerous hits that happen. Just got my second diamond piebald fallow deer while watching your stream. I got one a couple of weeks ago. Also, good luck, I guess. Nice. 2900 EM or 49,300 GM. I'm farming GMs to get it. Oh, nice. I wish I had the patience. I really do. I guess I wish I had the time. Like, I don't get to play Classic as much as I'd like to be able to do that kind of stuff, but I've always, like, the people that grind GM to buy, you know, whole waterfowl setups or, like, the Texas Lodge or anything like that, I think that's awesome. Oh, good lord. Top 5 AFC kickers. Tucker, Butker, Boswell. McPherson? I don't know. McPherson's still young. Carlson, probably, from the Raiders. Tyler Bass, maybe. Too bad Gostkowski's not still there. That'd be easy. I got 4. Is that good enough? Dustin Hopkins? I don't know. This year, probably yeah. Career-wise, I don't know. As a Browns fan, I cannot help but feel happy about the Steelers being in QB hell. I think the Browns are too, unfortunately, but they just happen to have a better roster. Bass, I was going to say Bass, but he's, I don't know, like he's usually really good. I guess so are any of these guys. Hauschka, is he still playing? I think my number 1 diamond want would probably be Mule Deer. I hunted them so hard for that one stretch and never did get one, just trolls galore. I had that troll in yesterday's video, and I just got a level 4. This video is like a week out, because obviously prepping content. But I just got a level 4 today with the exact same rack that was like 9 score bigger or something like that. Joe Flacco's coming in clutch. That's got to be the craziest storyline of 2023. Joe Flacco is trying to will the Browns for a Super Bowl run. Hopkins hasn't missed a 50-plus yarder this season, I think, over 10 attempts. So Boswell has, but the thing that sucks about that is there was a really pathetic offensive offsides call on the 57-yarder or something that he made. And then it was against the Jags, it ended up being a 62-yarder, and he missed that one. I think Butker had his first miss last night. Tucker on his super long field goals this year hasn't been as great, I don't think. Who was the other one I said? Oh, Carlson. I do not know his kicking stats. McManus is hit or miss, but reliable. You know what sucked about the McManus miss against the Bengals? I could feel that coming. Because Trevor Lawrence got hurt. And this is actually the one place where Boswell falls short. If the Steelers are getting beat, like just if it's just not their day, he'll miss a 33-yarder, he'll miss a 40-yarder. But if it matters, up to 60, you're good. He's gonna hit it. It's the craziest thing. Like if he feels like it doesn't matter anyway, it's like you might as well write it down. He is not gonna make it. And you could just feel like the air come out of that stadium when Trevor Lawrence seemed to be hurt, like bad. I was just sitting there like, McManus is gonna miss this. He just is, and then he did. Remember Tomlin was fuming after that one? I think it was that game. There was a pretty obvious lip reading of him saying, what the bleep is wrong with y'all today, which was pretty good. What were you... Where's the I was so mad but it's still in my lodge? Hunted them for a long stretch, then quit when I finally found level 5 and it was the weird half 5, half 1 rack? Wait. Blacktail or mule deer? Dallas has the best kicker. That Brandon Aubrey has been clutch as clutch can be. It's also, I don't know. He was a soccer player at Notre Dame. I think I already talked about this on stream, so I'll make it shorter. But I like to think, because he didn't grow up playing football, it's like not as high stakes for him. So it's like, hey, we need you to go kick a 60-yarder. Okay. And he just goes and does it. And then he has to kick a 59-yarder. Okay. Like, no pressure, just go and do it. Let me go do my job real quick. How much longer on stream? We still have about an hour and 20 minutes. The first 45 have flown by. Goodness. Top 3 punters? Oh my god, I got no idea. Not a clue. AJ Cole is really good. Presley Harvin's number 32. Literally said it in the message you read. Well, you said you had a similar situation, and I didn't read the whole thing because, frankly, I'm not interested in what you have to say. Nah, it's not true. I just thought you were talking about mule deer as well. Jake Elliott's the best kicker in the NFL? So I can't entirely disagree with that. That kick in the rain against the Bills was insane. Stonehouse with the Colts killed him. Yikes. What are you going to take your next great one with? The plan is to use the bow. I was thinking about this earlier. Probably jinxing myself for it to not happen now. If we found a great one on stream, like if it happened today, I can't promise you I would use the bow. This moose grind has gone on for so long now. I might just go with a gun and try to heart shot it. I don't know. Tommy Townsend, the Bucks punter. I don't know who the Bucks punter is. Tommy Townsend has been good. Do it with the 454? If the opportunity arises, we shall see. The urge to go to Twitch and make you use no sights for 30 minutes? What did it start with? Red deer, I think. Because we didn't do much, if any, whitetail streaming on Twitch. But the amount of grinds that are, that could have ended several days earlier, but were slowed down by all the no sights and weapon switches on Twitch. But that's what makes those things fun too, like trying to find a way to make good shots with no scope, or who knows. We've used some pretty crazy weapons. It is why it's there. Do a no scope 360 headshot? Good idea. Should do a Christmas video on Rancho. So as far as tradition goes, Christmas videos always are on Classic for the Christmas event they do there. I am planning a Christmas Eve Call of the Wild wish list. I do that, I was going to say I do that every year. I've been doing that for like 2 or 3 years running now. And I kind of like just throwing ideas out there and seeing what people say. I haven't 100% committed to it, but that's kind of my plan right now. And there does have to be some kind of footage going in the background, whether it's moose grind footage or, whatever we come up with. Maybe it could be Rancho, we'll see. Do you often travel to outposts? I mean, when it's useful. Steelers or Eagles fan? Unfortunately, last couple years, Steelers. 303, was that a, oh, Jake Camarda is the Bucks punter's name. Was the 303 a great one weapon suggestion? Best gun in Call of the Wild in your opinion? Like, the tough part about it is, I think the 300 is the best big game rifle. I think it's like the most powerful and most worthwhile weapon. When you factor in coverage and all that, probably the 7mm, and specifically I guess the 7mm bolt from the Hunter Power Pack. But yeah, it depends on like what you need it for. You a fan of basketball? It has not been something I've ever followed. How do you feel about the Steelers suspension? I kind of think that's an overreaction. I was cool with the penalty. I thought the ejection was an overreaction. I definitely think the suspension is an overreaction. Like, I don't know what... You know, what are you supposed to do? There's a guy... It was a bad ball from Minshew. And there's a guy diving, making a chunk play catch. I don't, what was that, 20, 25 yards? Are you supposed to just not let him? Like, I don't really know what he was supposed to do in that situation. He didn't... You know, it wasn't helmet to helmet. He didn't launch at his head. It was dangerous, like, I'll acknowledge that. But I don't get... Like, 3 games? I don't know about that. We are indeed getting snow. What did I miss? Nothing too crazy just yet. A couple of big 4s, no 5s, no 10s, no rares. Just a little late. Probably best to not just kill 4 all at one spot anyway. How big are you? You get a pass. It's a non-white Christmas there. I can say with a pretty high degree of certainty when we're in Georgia, we will also have a non-white Christmas. Football is dangerous? Well. I saw Tom Brady commented on the KZ suspension, and that's what he said, like it. Rewarding quarterbacks, basically, for making bad throws isn't something we should do. But I don't know. I don't know what the move is. Doubt anywhere in PA will have a white Christmas, or is it supposed to get warm again? I know last year, because we were in Colorado, it was colder and snowier here than it was there. Been sick the past 4 days, finally getting better. That's good to hear. We always, for years, like 10, 15 years, right at Christmas, the whole family would always get sick. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the additional shopping and mingling and everything that goes on, but it was guaranteed, like, not even just like, hey, I got a head cold. The whole family was like deathly ill every time. Favorite trophy this year in Call of the Wild? Well, the Great One Fallow is going to be up there. Let's see. Let's quickly scroll through some of the videos. There was some kind of significant rare recently. The gold piebald blacktail was pretty cool. Albino red fox was definitely on the list. Ooh, you know what it was? Diamond bobcat. The relief of getting a diamond that we had been after for a year. Literally right after we got the diamond widgeon. It was just... That was the most nervous I've been to shoot a non-great one. Going back to like at least... maybe the piebald diamond gray fox. It's been a while since I was that nervous. That's the first 9 we saw. It's the only 9 we've seen. What Steelers/NFL podcast do you listen to? I don't really listen to any Steelers media because I'm not going to lie to you, they're all kind of annoying. NFL specific, I'll listen to Pro Football Talk and Chris Sims Unbuttoned, which I know a lot of people think Chris Sims is a doofus, but he is. But he also has some decent takes. That 44 lever came in clutch for the Bobcat. It was nice of them to add. I literally, like, I don't know, 2 months maybe before getting the diamond, I had that epiphany of like, hey, the 44 revolver's awesome for bobcats. And they were like, you want to see something cool? What if we gave you a 44 but a rifle? Diamond melanistic bobcat for you? Nice. I had a fake one. I found a level 9 melanistic on a multiplayer server, and I was so excited, and then I realized it was a troll, or sorry, it was a hack server. Might as well have been a troll. There's a rug on Rebentuli that has the moose models on it. Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah, there was some. It's been a thing for a while. Like Leighton's got some of that. Medved, I think. I'm not sure why that happens. Gotta get my wisdom tooth removed. Hope I don't die. Best of luck to you. Enjoy. I don't know if you'll have to have like applesauce for a couple of days or whatever if it's only one side. Low-key confirmed the Des, listen to what you say. And furthermore, that's why I think Great Ones should just be initial spawns only on my map.
Because you suck.
Please and thanks. Oh. That wasn't necessary.
Wah, wah, wah.
Have you had your annual super rare yet? I don't think so. Not that I can think of. It's definitely half a product of, you know, I don't play as much anymore. Turns out, when you don't live in an apartment where going outside is just going to a concrete backyard, there's a little bit more to do. You know, whether it's taking care of Shadow, whether it's taking care of stuff around the house, and then, you know, throw in the addition of Way the Hunter and stuff, and we just don't have as many hours in Call of the Wild. But I think, too, if I'm not mistaken, our 2020 super rares were both whitetail grinds. Never had a super rare from Fallow, never had a super rare from Moose. Black Bear, I think the best we maybe did was like a level 7. So none of our grinds have produced super rares either. Thoughts on when the next map's coming out? I don't know, because we're certain that it's not going to be until next year. But I don't know if that means, like, January? Or if that means, like, the normal next year release, which would be June. I have no idea. It's called Growing Up. Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm old now. Yeah, back in my day, I used to run around the multiplayer with the kiddies. Take pictures and oh, I'd kill the super rares. How old are you? 87. Oh, never mind. 26. It goes up once. It goes up every year. About the time I get used to it, it changes. Maybe March? I could see that. Okay, I don't see where the thing got brought up, but I know you're talking about the Otani contract there, Clark. That's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Like, how does that work? Is the whole... They don't have a cap, so what's the point? Because if the whole idea was like, yeah, we're going to offset that 10 years in the future when the salary cap is way higher and it won't be as big a number technically, I could see it. But I truly don't understand why they do that. The visceral fear I have of turning 30? We'll have to have a dirty 30 birthday party. I should have said purdy. Opportunity missed. Are you going to do another Whitetail Great One grind? I can pretty definitively say that's not going to happen. I've said for a couple of years now, because, you know, going all the way back to when I was doing the Red Deer grind, people were asking if I was going to do another Whitetail grind. And my whole plan had been, if we get the Great One Red Deer in a timely manner, because we had already had all the diamonds at that time, then I would go and do another Whitetail grind. Well, obviously the Red Deer took forever, and then we had more maps coming out, and then, you know, it's taken, since Rebentuli Coast came out, we haven't had every diamond in the game up until a couple of weeks ago. But now we still have Moose Great Ones and Black Bear Great Ones to grind for. And, you know, let's say it goes incredibly well. Let's say, it'd be so funny if this happened, the next zone has a Great One Moose in it, and then we switch to Silver Ridge Peaks and kill a Great One Black Bear before the stream ends today. I still don't think I'd do a Whitetail grind. I'm having a lot of fun, like, just doing the diamond hunts and stuff. I really enjoy, and it's kind of like the classic aspect of it, then you never know what you're going to find in multiplayer. I really enjoy just jumping on a map and seeing if we can find anything good. It's just for tax purposes? Huh. Interesting. Is Call of the Wild or Way the Hunter better? Depends on what you're looking for. I would say Call of the Wild's a lot smoother. It runs smoother. It's a little bit like... I don't know how to describe it. Like, there's the level of detail and stuff is odd. Like, these moose, kind of far away-ish, still look good. The one issue I have with Way the Hunter is animals in the distance don't look as good. So there's like a scaling up of quality almost. But Way the Hunter is far more realistic. Call of the Wild's more arcadey. So it's just, you know, it depends on what you're into. What's up, Muppet Worth? How's it going? I enjoy the non-Great One vids, to be honest. I think it's tough, like, you know, how many... Let's go back to Red Deer. I did a Red Deer video pretty much once a week up until we got the Great One. How many times can I do a video where it's like, oh, look, there's a legendary Red Deer, until it just gets boring? Like, I guess, you know, if I, for instance, I had a Reventuli hunt. What did I kill in that video? I had something good. Oh, yeah, I won't tell you. But the first thing I found was a level 3 whitetail. I shot that, and I thought, okay, like, worst case, I've got something for the thumbnail and stuff. And is a small rack diamond whitetail very interesting? Probably not. But what ended up happening later was very interesting. But I had that in like the back of my mind, like, okay, if I get a diamond whitetail, does anybody care about a random diamond whitetail anymore? And I think the answer is probably mostly no. If it was a bigger one, sure. But outside of the Great One species that, you know, there's been thousands upon thousands of diamonds posted in the community, I think there's a lot of diamonds out there that a lot of people like, oh yeah, I haven't seen anybody get one of those in a while. Would like to say I had one of those today. It wouldn't let me change the game title. I don't know why it would choose Classic. Probably because the Hunter is somewhere in the title or something. I was trying to change the game title and it just... like, every time I would click in the thing, it wouldn't let me type. Really open for not typicals to get added in the near future. We talking Call of the Wild or Way the Hunter? Favorite Great One whitetail rack. I'm a sucker for the drop tine rack. The typical rack's pretty good. Kyla's goofy cluster rack's pretty good one. Or wonky cluster rack, I guess. No one had mine when I got it. That's not true. 2 people had it. Always forget if there's a vid on Mondays. There is not. We'll see what happens when I get back. I'm kind of thinking of trying to do videos on Mondays and Fridays. At least, like, during the off-season. It's just such a good routine and schedule I've got going at the moment. But I've been considering, like, trying to add in some additional videos and stuff here and there. We'll see. I just know what'll happen. Like, we'll get back from Georgia, and then a week or 2 later, I guess 2 weeks later, Aaron's coming out here for Flintlock. So I'll probably put off doing, like, any kind of content changes till after he's heading back home. And then a couple months after that, it's gonna be turkey season, and I'll have to slow back down again. So, I don't know. We shall see. Stream with Aaron? You know what I thought about doing? Because it's still gonna be football season then. I wonder if he'd do an NFL picks video with me. I think it'd be really fun. And then whenever the Colts are playing, I'm just gonna absolutely trash them. So what do you think about these terrible Colts, huh? Loved your Way the Hunter video the other day. That encounter with the herd of 2 5-star and 2 4-star elk was the best. It's fun. As many 5-star elk as we've had, it's still, every time I see stuff like that, one of my favorite encounters, just seeing those huge frames going through the trees. Think the NFL has to raise the cap? Do you think it matters, though? Because I think all that does probably is artificially inflate the quarterback contract market. And then you'll get, you know, edge rushers get a little bit more, receivers get a little bit more. And I'm not so sure that, you know, the positions that you want to, you know, have a team retain actually get retained. I think the percentages of quarterback, edge rusher, receiver, left tackle, the percentages of the cap probably just stay the same. If you could have one Call of the Wild trophy, what would it be? Albino Diamond Lion, I think. Now, that's different from my dream trophy, just to be fair. The reason I'm saying Albino Diamond Lion is it would be perfect for the multi-mount, the Breadwinner multi-mount. Because what I would like to have is an albino male lion and a diamond lion, both displayed in the lodge. And if I could do that with one animal, being an albino diamond, that would really help. And it would also be, you know, I mentioned being super nervous shooting that diamond bobcat. Imagine trying to kill, and I'm sure someone in the chat has done it, imagine trying to kill an albino diamond lion. The shakes would be real. Hockey players are severely underpaid compared to other sports. It's kind of like, well, won't get into pay gap stuff, but it's all in the market. Had a feeling the Dolphins would win Sunday night, and they did. Yeah, I didn't think they were going to smoke the Jets like that either. I thought, you know, it was going to be... I need to say this so you don't get confused, but I thought it was going to start out like 3-0 Dolphins, 6-0 Dolphins, Jets get a fluke play, 7-6 Jets, and then the Dolphins are going to start to, like, you know, maybe get 2 touchdowns and kind of put them away, basically. I didn't see 30-0 or whatever the score ended up being. Speaking of the NFL, my Bills are warming up nicely. If they can get a wild card spot, they'll cause damage. Dude, I think they're going to win the division. I think Miami's going to drop one of these next 2. They've got the Ravens and the Cowboys. They might drop them both. They win that division. I think everybody in the playoffs got to watch out. Poor Jet fan. Didn't deserve it. Who's your logo, by the way? Honestly thought the Jets had a chance to win. I almost picked them. With Tyreek being hurt, I thought the defense was going to give Miami problems, and they surely did not. I mean, I'm sure there were still problems. I didn't get to watch the game, but not what I thought it was going to be. What's up, Mel? Are you herd managing? To the extent that I'm not shooting level 2s that I see, I guess I am. But I don't like shoot down zones or anything like that. I'm frankly just not patient enough to do any of that. I also really don't like to play that way. I like to shoot whatever I see and not get too technical and all that. Kind of like... Oh, that's CJ Mosley, okay. Kind of like when Didi did that video, or the series of videos where he was saying like he's 100,000 kills and 12,000 diamonds into his Great One grinds. And his whole message was like... He didn't... It was a herd management thing. He didn't like that there had to be like a formula or whatever to get a Great One. And I'm kind of the same way. I don't want there to be a formula. I just want to go out and hunt and see if I can get a Great One to show up. But it is well documented now. Herd management works. And therefore shooting small moose or whatever you're grinding for actively is just hurting your chances. So now I just leave level 2s basically. And 1s. Oh look, Mel, thank you for the 28 months. Welcome back. That is many, many months. Got 4 max level trolls in the span of 15 minutes on my own Quattro. That is majorly unfortunate. I had a stretch of 3, it wasn't in 15 minutes, but I had a stretch of 3 trolls in a row here the last couple of days. Hopefully you've had some kind of diamond to break that curse. Which, did you post in the Discord, Clark? If you did, I missed it. Which combo did you get? I sure it was like random spawns where a random doe maybe turns into the Great One. So that's... The problem with it is, there's probably no perfect solution, because once the community knows how to do it, whether it's herd management or whether it's, you know, whatever other process there might be, it could still be sped up. But I kind of wish a Great One could spawn off anything. Go out and hunt your map. Kill musk deer, kill moose, kill boar, kill whatever. But the thing is, when you get to the point that, like, let's think. Great One, this will be dumb. Great One chamois. Why would you say that? I needed something on Aotearoa. If you could just murder thousands of fallow deer and red deer as quickly as you can on that map, you'd get Great One Chamois really easily. So there's still, you know, there's probably no perfect solution, but I do wish it was random. I do. Where did that go? I saw it. Oak and Spider first was Spruce, Large, Typical. I remember the Spruce one. I'm jealous of that. That is one of my favorite combos. Bestow my Great One powers. Happens with every game. Eventually people figure things out. Yeah, that's true. I think though, like, when you're putting a Great One into the game or something that's like, oh no, we're getting to the point that these are all smalls. I don't know if that's good or bad. Like, I guess it's kind of good, right? But then this is one of our good zones. So in theory, we should kill those. But I don't know how to... This is my problem. Anyway, when you're putting something into the game like a Great One that's kind of artificially adding rarity to something, because obviously it's a step above a diamond. I don't know that people figuring out is good, but like you said, it's going to happen. So no matter what method they came up with, there was going to be a way to make it happen faster. What do you think about floaters floating to where they were shot and not to where the hunter who shot them was? If they float to where they're shot, you may get some scenarios where they float to a place they can't be recovered from. What's up, Wesley? Happy birthday, man. Do you play Rocket League? It has been... It's gonna be like 4 years since I played this spring. I miss it sometimes, but... I stopped playing that, I guess, in 2020. Mostly because I was putting a ton of time into it. It's not like I was, you know, playing competitively or anything, but I was pretty decent. I would run into pros in competitive games on a relatively regular basis. And I really enjoyed that, but the problem is, I'm too competitive to just play casually. Like, it would bother me to... So I don't know. The ranks are different now, but I was somewhere 1750 MMR. Grand Champ was the highest rank at the time. So, if I were to just kinda stop playing, it would annoy me to see my rank fall. So I just had to stop entirely. So I think there is an invisible moose. And I guess the solution's gonna be... run over there. It's funny how that works though, Clark, and I think, I'm hoping you're right, that as we leave some of these small ones, eventually a Great One's gonna show up. But, once you get that first one, that's the case for a lot of people, the next one shows up quick. What's up, Broadhead? Good decision because I hate Rocket League? I quit not too long after Epic Games bought it and stuff, and as I understand, there's been some things that have gone downhill. I loved the game, and I'm sure I'd still love it if I went back now, and I was never into soccer at all. The thing that I loved about Rocket League, and funny enough, I've been playing Madden again. When you play Madden or when you play most sports games, because it's team sports games, you're not entirely in control. You're relying on the AI to do something right, to be in position to make a stop, or be in position to catch a ball, or whatever it might be. Rocket League, outside of teammates, if you're playing, doubles or triples or whatever, it was entirely skill-based, and I like that. I like that there was no, like, why are my guys being dumb and his guys are jumping for all the interceptions? I'd go back and play it if I had the time. I think that's what I'm saying. All this Rocket League talk, time to go play. Enjoy your bronze rank. I don't know what rank you are. Spent 2,000 hours in Rocket League and it's the biggest regret of my life. Hey, I also spent, I think I'm at 2,400. Oh, look, I'll tell you right now. 2020... 2,300. April 8th, 2020 is the last time I played. Grand Champ? Yeah, right. You have 4 hours in the game, I see you. Where is the Classic Christmas stream? There's going to be a Classic Christmas video, not a stream. Had a level 4 moose in New England with that rack, barely made diamond. Yeah, he was a little bit narrow set to make it, but that is a rack that can make it. What did I miss? Moose-wise, not much. We've had all kinds of conversations, mostly centered around football today. Still no 5s. We're going on, it's gotta be like 3 or 4, no. 300 400 kills at least since our last diamond. I think we killed a troll 5 maybe 2 streams ago. That too, Muppleworth. I'm definitely getting... The one thing about Madden, you don't need terribly fast reflexes to play that. Because, you know, the AI, if you're playing a defense, the AI kind of breaks in the ball for you. You just got to be able to click on and hold the, whatever, Y button for interceptions and stuff. And offense, if you have a halfway decent scheme, it's not about reaction time. It's about making the right read. There's a moose mad at the lake somewhere. So this is the lake that there was that other big 4, which actually may have been the one we just killed. I didn't think of that. I didn't pay attention to the estimate. But it could be the one that's making all that noise over there. What's up, Navy Dog? Competitive Madden is toxic? Oh, it is. The nice thing is on PC, at least, there's no way to message the people you play. So, at least you don't have to worry about that. They have an event right now, so like almost all competitive Madden's Ultimate Team, which is kind of cool. Like, I like that there's an aspect of build your team to, you know, how you want to play versus, hey, everybody uses the Eagles because they're the highest rated team in the game. They have an event right now. It's only, you play a half, and it's for like these snowflake currency things. And it is, I mean, I have played some of the craziest strategies I've ever seen. All for, whatever, 750,000 coins. It's fun to message people. Yeah, you know, it gets the competitive juices flowing, that's for sure. I'm glad it's just not an option on PC, though. I still use the Chiefs even if it was the Alex Smith era. Going back to, like, I don't know, Madden 15? When I was pretty good with, like, regulars, not Ultimate Team, I would use the Steelers even though they had, like, a super slow Roethlisberger. Antonio Brown was good, and then a bunch of nothing. 82 speed Le'Veon Bell or whatever. It was ridiculous. Favorite great one you've got is always going to be the Whitetail. That one, it was so special, like, not only was it new, I believe there were either two or three great ones taken before mine. I can think of 2 of them. One guy got one, I think, with a bow in Chila, and another guy got one on stream in Runaki. His was weird. He was like, I don't even think he was trying to get it. Or maybe he was, but they were just like shooting all these whitetail at the bottom left lake, and more whitetail kept on coming in. He just kept shooting and shooting till a level 10 showed up. And then he shot it on the run and got it in, like, the liver. He barely got it. But it was special in that aspect, and then for it to run by like it did, it'll just be a memory I'll never forget in this game. What resolution? 1080. Will Alex Smith be getting a Christmas card from Tom Brady? It'll probably say, like, Merry Christmas. I won more games than you started in your career. Much love, Tommy. What streaming/recording software? Just OBS. OBS Studio. Anybody that's out there making videos, wanting to make videos, streaming, wanting to stream, OBS Studio is top notch. It's a free software. It is easy to connect to your Twitch, your YouTube. You can easily do both. Obviously, we stream on both. Highly, highly recommend it. I hope Frank Wycheck gets a card in Madden. So I guess the biggest issue is the rights. Like, do you really want to be the EA guy to, who knows, email, call, show up, snail mail Frank Wycheck's family and be like, hey, condolences. Can we get the rights to Frank Wycheck for like $15,000 to make a fake him in a game? I just don't think they're gonna do that. It would be a cool gesture, I guess, in some ways, but I think there's probably a large degree of insensitivity that comes with that. I don't think they want to do it. Have you ever tried Rainbow Six Siege? I have never once played it. This is another one of those situations where Sir 12 would be pretty nice. Got a new laptop for Christmas. It's an Acer Nitro 5. I think that's what I just got. Hold on. I gotta look. I'm almost sure that's the one I bought. Sure is. I like it so far. Disney didn't mind doing that to Carrie Fisher's family? Was it like immediately after though? Like literally days after? What is the hardest animal to hunt in Call of the Wild? In terms of like getting trophies of them and stuff, I think jackal are up there. Red fox are a little bit easier because in New England now, I think, and Emerald Coast too. Any small predator species though, gray fox, red fox, jackal, raccoon dog, they're all tough. That is for sure, JTAC. I mean, it's insane. You go on there, and there's like $50 options, or I don't know if they've ever done a $100 option, but there'll be an option for like a $50 pack, and it's like, hey, you might get 286 overalls or this 94 overall that's going to be outdated in 2 weeks. And people buy bundles of those $50, like it's insane. I don't get it. I get wanting to be good at it. I've even thought about buying like one singular pack. And then I'm like, no. I'm just going to stand on my principles. I'm doing no money spent with my Steelers theme team that I'm making because I refuse to give them any more money than the $70 I spent to get the game. Just no. It's nuts. As bad as I want, what's his name? The Allen Robinson Team of the Week card that I'm never going to get because he's the only good Steelers receiver. I'm not paying real money. There's a cover athletes thing they're doing, and Antonio Brown was once a Madden cover athlete, but he is insane, so I doubt they're getting his rights. They'll also probably make him number 17 or whatever he was for the Bucks, which would annoy me. Hope Wade the Hunter gets turkey someday. I think it'd be cool. I would hope if they do it, they really work hard on the models. My personal opinion is that most of the waterfowl and small game models in Wade the Hunter are a little subpar. Coolest Call of the Wild harvest you've ever seen killed. I mean, back in the day before anybody understood anything about herd management or, anything like that could help with super rares, there was a melanistic diamond lynx that was shot. That was pretty darn cool. Let me think. I mean, it was Vital Assassin shot a 1000 score albino diamond red deer. Back in the good old days of the 1000s, that was amazing. That mellow lynx I'm talking about might have been 1000, I can't remember. Do you think Kazee should be suspended for the rest of the season? No. I don't know what. That's a bad overreaction. Like I talked about it earlier, so to hit the cliff notes, dangerous play, for sure. I get it. Cool with the flag. Didn't think the ejection was necessary. Definitely don't think a suspension is necessary. Like, I don't get what they're trying to accomplish there. Minus just punishing him from game checks and stuff for trying to do his job. Baker comeback player of the year? Do we think DeMar is going to win it by default, though? Because I kind of think DeMar Hamlin's going to win it. I think Baker would be the most legit candidate outside of DeMar Hamlin, but I just feel like, especially because it's sports writers and sports media people that vote, I think a lot of them are just going to, remember all the stories and stuff that they probably took part in writing and reporting and all that, and he's going to win it. I think the Bills are going to go far in the playoffs. Let me look. I want to see who they'd potentially get. Because I think they're going to be the 3 seed, personally. Okay. So if they end up... yeah, I think the Chiefs are going to be the 2 seed. I think the... that could flip around. Let's give the Bills the 2 seed just for fun. Because if they went out, I think they become the 2 seed. That would mean... no, wait. Chiefs would still be the 2 seed. Alright, I'm going with 3. That would mean they get the 6th seed? Wildcard weekend? Who right now are the Bengals. I think they could beat the Bengals. I think they could beat the Colts. I think they could beat the Texans. I don't think the Steelers are going to make it. I think they could beat the Broncos. I don't think the Broncos are going to make it. Then that probably leaves them against... I'm going to give them at least as far as the championship round. It's too hard to predict. But actually, I kind of think they end up with a fairly favorable... because I think the Dolphins are going to drop one of these next 2. I think the Bills win out, win the division, get the 3 seed, and then actually they kind of end up in a decent spot. Could you imagine walking up on that Mellow Lynx in the early days? No. I mean, I remember the albino diamond moose we got so well, and how much I freaked out over that. The entire spine I had to aim for was bigger than the size of the lynx that guy shot. Like, to make the shot and get the full quick kill, that had to be so tense. Squall. Nice. The Bills beat the Dolphins in like week 3 and was 48-20. Yeah, the fact it's going to be Miami will make it interesting, but the way the 2 teams are playing right now and the way the Bills dismantled them earlier in the year, I think they can beat them again. Prob shouldn't because he's mid. Are we talking about DeMar still? You should do another lion bow hunt in tripods. Why did I do that to begin with? Was it just like a random idea, or was there a specific reason I did that? That was fun. That might have been one of those things that I did as a prepped video too, where I was like, I need to come up with something. Lions with a bow. I want to, what do they say? Something is the mother of innovation or whatever. Like necessity? I don't know. What I was trying to get at is, a lot of times when I gotta do preps videos, for some reason they turn out really good.
It looks like mud bed out there.
Looks like Yukon to me.
Okay, whatever.
Is there a fix for the bug of the lakes looking like mud?
No, it's a bug.
Oh, I don't even know what you mean.
Lake station bug.
That's cool. Glad they have a muddy lake bug. Is it just the color of the water is wrong, or what is it? Like, how does that work? Necessity is the mother of invention? Is it necessity? That seemed wrong to me. Kinda wish that I had a 5-pin rangefinder sight like Classic. The multi-pin sights in Colorado have never made much sense to begin with. So, they'd really have to, you know, work on it to get it right. Because I do have to give Classic credit there. Way the Hunter's multi-pin sights are kind of stupid too. It's like 27, 50 something, and 80. Nobody, other than like competitive shooters, have their bows set up like that. It's usually 10, 20, 30, or 20, 30, 40. The water looks whitish gray and bright. That's weird. All my lakes look like hardened mud. The color, yes, since the last update. If somebody had... what that noise was. If somebody has a screenshot of that they'd like to share in Discord, I kind of want to see it. Hopefully that alert's going to go off before it just scrolls off my screen. Josh, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate the support. All-time favorite rare animal you've killed in Call of the Wild? The Piebald Diamond Gray Fox is probably my favorite. It helps that I get to keep it in the lodge. Like, the Albino Diamond Moose may win if I could actually have it in my lodge. But, because of the proximity and the fact that I get to walk past it in the lodge all the time, and the rarity of a super rare fox is kind of crazy too, so I think that one wins. Josh coming in with the $20 super sticker super chat as well. Thank you so much again. I really appreciate that. I'm trying to see which one actually came through, because I couldn't tell which one it actually showed on the screen. I think they'll both work eventually, but thank you again, man. There we go. There it is. Too kind. I really appreciate that. Since the arrow overhaul taking longer bow shots is not just advisable now, is just not advisable now that the wind is affecting them so much more. When even was the arrow overhaul? I don't even remember. Shoot, I'm late. What's going on, Hatchet? Nice. Kyla's hitting the window with her phone trying to take snow pictures. Were you nervous shooting your great ones? Oh yeah. Even the fallow. The whitetail is extremely nervous. Like, super, super nervous. The red deer I was nervous but confident, weirdly. I don't know what the deal with that was, but I made that neck shot that I'll never go for again. And then the fallow was, the grind was so long. I was, not that I was over it, but I was just so glad it was done. But I was nervous to mess it up and have to keep going, if that makes sense. My laptop is more powerful than my brother's laptop. That's a step up that you want. Part of a recent update a couple months ago. Okay. I was strangely detached from my Great One kills, no nerves at all. I guess because they weren't the rack/fur I was looking for. I'm trying to think if I've had... over time, there's been random detached kills that I've had, I feel like. Never been a great one for me, but some of the different diamonds and stuff I've had over the years. What does Shadow look like? Do I have a picture of Shadow in here?
Who's that little Christmas one you used to put on my videos?
Well, I have it, but where? I don't know. Let's see. Find a picture of Shadow Challenge. Whoop, okay. I think. Okay, well that's like very young Shadow. She's much fatter than that now.
She is. She's a chubby little guy. You just keep her on the screen. Just have her.
Any success in deer season? 3 does, no bucks. OBS at its finest, being able to do all that. I enjoyed it. How'd you meet Kyla? Doing this.
Do it. Sorry, I didn't.
Do you want to see if you can do that any louder? What you choose to... Wait. Why did you choose to go after the Great One fallow instead of the moose? Is that what you're asking me? If that's the question, fallow felt far more achievable to me. And I also learned my lesson. Black bear were and should have been far more achievable back when Black Bear Great Ones first came out. They drank in the daylight, they worked, and by that I mean they came into their zones on time. I didn't know that they were gonna change them to drink at night and completely screw up the zones, so I didn't take advantage of it. And by that I mean I didn't kill 10 or 20,000 black bears, however many it had to be, With fallow, I just said, like, they could change this for all I know. I'm going to get this one that I can tell is very doable.
It's still too far.
Zach, thank you for the 16 months. Welcome back. Going to moose grind your forehead. You should just see if you can get a Yolcat. Do any animals go to their zones on time? Yeah, it's the grinding that does it, and I don't know why, but when you start to like shoot hundreds of animals on a map, it screws with their timing. I think when you get a grind going, if you take a break, it affects the respawns, like positively or negatively. Worst troll you've had? So I had a super troll Grados, but I didn't shoot it. I can't remember. It might have been on my own map, but I think I was hunting multiplayer with G-Man, and I saw it, level 5 albino Grados, and I was like, hey, that's a super rare. And then I picked up the track, and this is back in the old days of Zach Tactics and weight and score being like exactly correlated. And it was 97 kilo, which was like a guarantee that's never going to be a diamond. So I was just like, hey, go shoot that. I don't even want to look at it. So not only did he mess it up, it was still going to be a 937 troll. So because that would be the only super troll I ever had, I guess that one. But I've never had like a really like disappointing one, because I knew that was a super troll to the point that I didn't even shoot. You know what I mean? Negatively, maybe. We need non-typical whitetail racks. It would be nice. You see what way the hunter's doing with mule deer racks. Maybe Call of the Wild can do some non-typical ones. Great ones have non-typical racks. I mean, that's very true, but more common non-typical racks would be nice. How long did it take you to get that much money in Call of the Wild? Well, I have 6,730 hours, so I guess that much. All that time minus maybe like 20 hours of making beginner series videos if it's done on this account. So Zach, thank you for the super chat as well. Already got my Yule links. Check your messages on Discord. Oh, is that what that is? You change your profile picture every 5 minutes, and I don't know who you are, and I don't look at it. How am I just now realizing the Hunter Classic is free? Probably, like, if I were to guess, the game has long been considered very much pay to win, and I guess to a degree, like, well, when you had to buy a subscription, it was not free, but it's been free for like 5 years now. Even despite that, you'll hear a lot of people call it pay to win, and like, I guess by the strict definition, you can buy things that'll make it a better experience, but you can very effectively play the game for free, or even play the game for cheap, like $20 or $30 worth of equipment, which is, you know, the price of a regular game anyway. You can do really well. The beginner videos help me so much. I'm grateful. That's good to hear, man. That's always been, you know, the goal with the YouTube channel as a whole, is to help people learn the games. So funny hearing you talk about Zag Tactics. I remember, so right when it was first discovered, he and I were going to do a video together. We came to Medved, and our whole theory was if the animal's weight was within 5% of the max, that was going to be a diamond. The problem was reindeer didn't fall into this category, and we didn't know it. So we found a reindeer that was, I think, 176 kilo or something, which by our math should have easily been a diamond. And it wasn't even a level 5. And it completely, like, ruined the theory. I don't even think we made the video after that. But they were, at the time, they might have been the only thing that didn't follow that rule. And that would just happen to be the one animal we found a track of. Josh, thank you for the super chat. I remember playing with you back in the day on Classic. Well, now I gotta ask, what was your Classic username? Could have been one of many. If I send a pic of the water glitch, what channel? The Call of the Wild trophy pics or whatever we call it's fine. Maybe it's your turn to get a Yule Lynx, dude. I have been trying. I killed 3 lynx in my game earlier, which I know, like, that doesn't sound like much. I've never killed 3 lynx in the same game. It's kind of lucky, though. Like, I called in a female, and then I fast traveled and I got a track. And I followed one for a little bit, and I actually called in 2 at the same time. One fled, and I ran after it and shot it in the guts with the 357 and was running away. But, I just haven't had any luck with them. I'm going to give it... They're like 1 in 30? I'm going to give it one more try when I record the Christmas video, which I guess is going to be tomorrow because the event ends the 20th. And either we get one or we don't. Do you often find yourself getting burnt out from playing Call of the Wild so much? Also, where can I find your socials? I really don't do much on socials. Like, I have an Instagram, Flinter Gaming. I have a Twitter, Flinter_. I rarely use them, to be honest with you. But they do exist. They might be in the description. Ugh, that's Shadow climbing up onto the desk, by the way, and me. The burnout thing, less so now than I did in the past. In, 2018, 2019, 2020, when I lived in my apartment and, like, literally there was nothing to do. Go outside was go into the cement backyard, So, I just would stay inside and I would either grind Call of the Wild multiplayer, look for diamonds I didn't have, rares I didn't have in multiplayer, that kind of thing. I played the game a lot. Like, 10 hours a day was very common. Now, between actually, like, having things I can do and also having an additional game like Way of the Hunter, I don't really get burnt out. Back then, it was pretty common once a week I had to take a day and just not play Call of the Wild. Or the Hunter, or go on Discord or anything. It was definitely too much. Don't forget your OnlyFans. That link's hidden. OnlyFlans, actually. What's the Yule Lynx? It's, so if you're familiar with, like, the Hunter Classics Halloween event, there will be, like, animals with unique Halloween skins. The Yule Cat is a Christmas sweater wearing lynx. That is apparently really hard to find. Unless you're lucky. Oh, I think we have had this conversation before. Country Boys, thank you for the super chat as well. I don't know why they're so delayed today. But my name was a bunch of random letters, but I don't know if you remember. I never knew how to pronounce it. Was it Javen? I was one of his buddies. Yeah, I remember him. We did a subscriber hunt back in the day. I talked to him all the time, especially when I was in college. I did not see that, Clark. I was watching the game, but I was like the entire day yesterday. I was recording videos and watching football, so I was never watching super closely, especially alignment and stuff. Would be interesting to see the actual plays, but I don't know. It depends on if, like, did they check with the refs? Did the refs say it was okay? Because the thing about KT, like, he looked at the ref and was like, hey, I'm lining up here, and then looked back. What's up, Barely Fit? Who do you have winning the Super Bowl? Hard to pick against the Niners right now. They look like a juggernaut. Refs just ignored they were a yard off on back-to-back plays. It is kind of weird how that works, because you see it a lot. I don't know. The fact that they flagged that one, he was like egregiously offsides. Like, I'm not saying the call was bad, but I think they do let guys get away with that a lot too. My guess would be, but they still, if this is the case, they still should have given the Chiefs a warning. My guess is because he was lining up offsides earlier in the game, the Bills said something about it, and they happened to see him do it again and threw the flag. Good Gun and Hunter Call of the Wild. I mean, got plenty of options. The base game 7 mil is really good. Even the base game 338 is good. If you're looking at DLC weapons, from the Modern Weapons Pack, the AR-308, awesome gun. The Hunter Power Pack, the 7mm bolt action, really good choice. Anything like that. Water glitches on trophy picks. Let me see. Oh. That's weird. I can see why you guys want that fixed. I don't like that. It kind of looks like a brand new map in a way, though. Alright, I guess we gotta go through down here. Potato Smuggler, what's going on, man? Still going, yep, still going. Got about 20 more minutes, and then gonna wrap up the stream. Probably gonna run to the grocery store, get the necessities, and by that I mean another 6-pack of Mountain Dew so I can finish prepping videos. And probably some snacks for the road when we're driving down to Georgia. If you had to add a great one, what would it be? Mule deer for sure. If you want specifics, I'd want... Honestly, like, if you look up the world record typical and world record non-typical, start there, and then just kind of maybe add some fancy furs. Think the Bills will make the playoffs? I think they're going to win the AFC East. Then stop by Taco Bell? Well, we already have venison thawing, or I would. The problem with that is, if we did just put it back in the fridge and have venison tomorrow, then it's like 2 pounds of venison. We're never going to get all the leftovers used up. It would be a shame. When are we leaving for Georgia? Sometime in the next couple of days, and I'm only being vague about that because if the weather decides to turn, we're basically leaving ourselves like a little window, like, hey, we might leave this day, might leave that day. Just, we'll wait and see. Yeah, the snow could move us around. You would choose Taco Bell over venison, you're not a true hunter? Well, it's actually like, choose to get Taco Bell and then also have venison the next day. Except, we might not be here I don't remember, 2 days after the next day or something like that. So, I don't want there to be a whole bunch of venison leftovers that can't get used up. Did you shoot a deer this year? I saw that monster you shot last year or 2 years ago. Yeah, that was 2 years ago. Got a couple of does this year, no bucks. This is the first year I haven't shot a buck since 2020. So maybe that means there's a pandemic coming again. Zach, thank you for the super chat. Mule deer, great one, should literally be me wearing fake antlers. I don't think we want a skinwalker running around with fake antlers, though. How is Pennsylvania? It's good. Who do you have winning the NCAA championship? That one team. I don't know who. Is this football? I don't even know what we're talking about for NCAA championship. If it is, who is it? Michigan, Bama, Texas, and... You think Michigan's gonna win? Oh. I kind of think they're... I don't know. Let's go with Texas. That'd be fun. Josh, thank you for the super chat. You should come down to Tennessee to hunt one of these years. Got some good deer down here. We actually did. We hunted you guys' muzzleloader season 2022. Aaron hit a buck on our first full day there. Hit it a little bit high, unfortunately, and it dropped and then basically got back up, which I'm sure it's fine, because that shot tends to just almost like stun them for a while, and then they get up and run away, which is what happened. I never saw a deer, which was unfortunate. 2-year anniversary of your super rare gray fox. Was it today? I know it was like the very end of December, and I believe that was a prepped video. That was like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. What part of Tennessee? Like northern Tennessee. Like we were at one point, one place we went was a mile from Kentucky. What gun do you recommend? Just started playing a month ago. If you haven't already got the 7mm, that is the gun that I would work towards getting. PB for bass, 4 pounds 2 ounces. That was actually oh god, hello. I had a really good week in West Virginia last year. I shot that 8-point. It was my biggest bow buck. The second day we were down there. And then I was tagged out. Other than turkeys, I had a fall turkey tag. So I hunted a little bit. The last day, though, Kyla hunted. She didn't even have a license, by the way, first. She was just going to watch shadow. And then I ended up killing a buck the second day, so we bought her a license and got her going. So she hunted. And then Will and I went up to the farm and went fishing. Brought Shadow with us, had a grand old time. And I caught my biggest bass, too. Tickling bears. Rare for feral goat. I think albino, black, and is there another one? I don't think mixed is rare. Maybe it is. Probably close to my college campus then. Could have been. Could have been. Jamestown area, I think it was. What is your dream vacation? It would involve a caribou hunt. Shot a black-tail deer on the 5th kill. What? I'm missing something. Another Lynx track? Oh, I thought you were playing Classic and you were talking about your game when you said the Lynx thing earlier. I didn't even register to me. Josh, thank you for the super chat again. Even though we're well ahead of the alerts, you should try to steal some suburb Nashville deer from Seek 1. I'm sure they'd appreciate that. I'll just sneak on in there. Mixed is rare, okay. Do you know where Jonestown is? Nope. I do not. The Yule Lynx are haunting you in Call of the Wild now, too? You know where? Nope, that won't work. Because the event's going to be over. I was going to say I could play Classic on my laptop when we get to Georgia and try to get a Yule Cat, but I'm pretty sure the event will already be over. It's the 20th, right? So, yeah. There's that alert. Thank you again, Josh, for the super chat. Isn't that where the cult was? That's the Jonestown Massacre, right? I just don't know where it was, or where it is. I couldn't point to it on a map. Bantang on my Emerald Coast map are bugged? Like in single player? I know that kind of stuff happens in multiplayer fairly regularly, but single player, that's kind of concerning. What do you like to fish? Anything I can catch on a fly rod, really. I am perfectly happy to catch creek chubs for hours on end on dry flies. I enjoy the heck out of it. It is more fun to catch bigger fish. Did a little bit of trout fishing this year. I think we went maybe 2 or 3 times. Caught probably a half dozen trout. It's amazing how, like, I sit here and think, like, yeah, this summer I'm going to do videos and streams on Mondays and Fridays, days where I typically only do streams. And then I'm like, I couldn't even make time to go fishing last year. So I don't know. This got a diamond pronghorn. Nice. I'll check around my map for you tomorrow and give you one if I see Don't Tell the Audience. Yeah. So if I randomly am on a multiplayer server with a guy named Zach Rhoda, don't worry about it. It has nothing to do with the message you just saw there. Very subtle indeed. Master of stealth. Me when I'm spooking the lynx I'm trying to kill. What's that fish bait? If you wrote everything there correctly and how you meant to, I don't even know what that means. So, probably the answer would be no. There's Zach's super chat that is super stealthy. We don't know who this Zach is. He's just some super nerd. They call him the security guard at DD's Discord. Will you be able to make a video about Way the Hunter, like a guide for noobs? I really need to make one. It's not going to happen before New Year's, unfortunately. Just traveling for the holidays and stuff. I don't have the time to put in that I would need to. I really want to make one because I feel like I've got like a decent grasp on how to explain what's important. But I'm going to need to write it all down and script it out and stuff because it's very nuanced when you look at it. So I want to do it. I want to make that video, but it won't be super soon. DD's Discord doesn't exist anymore? I know. Saltwater fish called tarpon. Oh, were you asking if I fish for tarpon on flies? I never have. I'd like to. Get to high elevation in glass. Stealth into call range. Execute a clean shot. If you use the bow, I mean, yeah, that can work. What I'm talking about as far as the nuanced stuff is like how to choose which animals to call out of your herd. Because in some circumstances, 2-star matures, you want out of there every time. In other circumstances, that 2-star mature is your best genetic potential male and you want it to stay there. And then it comes down to, okay, how do you identify a low genetic potential male when it's a young or an adult so you can kill it sooner and get respawn sooner and thus have those offspring aging up to maybe 5 stars sooner. There's a lot of it's trial and error, unfortunately. But there's things you can pick up on. Are you going to do another classic hunting vid? Got one coming out tomorrow, and then there's going to be one on Christmas Day as well. That one will be pretty reindeer focused. Might shoot some other stuff when we run into it, but we usually do a Christmas Day reindeer hunt. We'll have the whole get up. We'll have our Santa hat. We'll have the gingerbread and candy canes and Christmas lights 8x57. Whole thing. What's up, Alan? Got my first super rare the other day, a Piebald fallow diamond. Nice, man. Congrats. High genetic and low genetic calls. Yeah, that can help for the animals that aren't bugged when they respond to it. Maybe that's been fixed. I haven't checked with that. But for the most part, like, youngs and adults for animals don't respond to calls. And the whole... It's a much slower paced game if you can't identify, like, if a young or an adult is sub 50%. But yeah, the field judging stuff, to be honest, I don't always do it with great accuracy either. But I am willing to try it. You know, sometimes I shoot what would be a 99% 1-star young, but at least I know not to shoot that rack ever again. What cameo are you making a cameo in? That didn't make sense. Straight up didn't know that glitch existed? Yeah, for most species. Adults and youngs did not respond to any callers. And like I said, maybe it's been fixed. I've only played Way the Hunter a little bit since that latest update, and I've done next to no calling. Best map for whitetail, in terms of numbers, probably Reventuli Coast. Got 2 albino Cape Buffalo your first week? That is insane. I've hunted for Hunka Savannah a lot, and I would say I've got maybe like 5 albino Cape Buffalo. I'm sure I've spotted maybe tens of thousands. There was a time when that was pretty much all I went after. Wonder if we had like a tree or something, because I thought that could have been a headshot. Are graphics on Way the Hunter bad? No, they're actually pretty good. It's a detail thing at distance. If you're only familiar with Way the Hunter through my videos, I don't even play on maximum settings because for whatever reason it's pretty hard on your graphics card and stuff. Like if I run on max settings, I might be able to get 60 FPS when I'm not recording. If I am recording, usually I'll drop down. So I record on like low settings. So that doesn't help. But it's still a very good looking game. It's just at a distance, the detail for, you know, the animal models and stuff is significantly lower, which is, you know, how they achieve 1,000-meter render distances and stuff. But you know, one place the Call of the Wild definitely kind of succeeds is even at 400 meters, the detail is preserved. Like, a moose still looks like a moose just far away. Way the Hunter moose, yeah, they still look like a moose, but I don't know, the fur quality, the antler quality and stuff, it's just not quite as crisp. Did we get on the wrong... What happened? Yep. Tracking them backwards. Is 240 mule deer in classic good? That is huge. Wait. Where? That's blood. So I guess that's actually fresh. Think the way the Hunter moose is some of the best moose I've seen? They're too light, but otherwise, yes. Antler models, actual, like, animal models, they're really good. The fur... Alaska moose are fine. The western moose are way too light. But, it's just at a distance. All the animals in the way the Hunter at a distance are... Or anything. Trees, rocks. The level of detail is like a game graphic term. The level of detail in Way the Hunter, it's a big reason why they can do the long distance stuff. Have you been seeing any similar genetics from that 180 you killed a few years back? There's a probably 125, 130 inch 8-point that I call Junior. He is notably the offspring of my 180. Same frame shape, same like big swooping beams. He's got the longer brows than the typical buck here. I think he's going to be 5.5 next year, so long as he made it through. We have pictures of him as recently as December 4th, so he made it through the whole first week of rifle. He's got a pretty good chance. He'll be really interesting to see next year, but there's also a buck that is not related to my big one at all. He was pushing 140 as a 9-point, had to be like 22 inches wide. Just massive, heavy horned. Never did get to see him, you know, other than on trail cams, but if he's still around, he could be insane. Yeah, exactly, Clark. Is it just me, or do you think they should add blowguns to trail cams? If they could do trail cams like correctly, and especially with like the prevalence of cell cams, it maybe could be doable for them to just like send the in-game trail camera photos to your hunter mate. Maybe that's a thing. I think that could be fun. Blowguns I don't necessarily see the point of, because part of the like skill involved in shooting a blowgun in real life is the amount of force you put behind it, and I don't know how you properly simulate that. Gotta hop off before my phone dies in case I miss next stream. Merry Christmas, everyone. Saying to you, man. Appreciate you hanging out. Hopefully we'll catch you in the next stream. I will also say it now because we're at the end of the stream anyway. There will not be a stream next Monday. There should be a Twitch stream next Friday, and by next Friday, I do not mean the one in 4 days. I mean in like 11 days. I'm not sure what's up. My Call of the Wild account on Steam is not allowing me on. Any advice? What's it saying? 5-star against block on Way the Hunter would look nice. I would love to get one. Got a couple of 4-stars. Need to spend some more time on Ticking Moon Plains. It's the curse of Way the Hunter, though. That is the one problem with it. The more maps they come out with, the harder it is. Like, I wanna get the new mule deer racks. I also want to age my melanistic moose. I also want to get 5-star Gensbuck and lions and things that we don't have yet. And Transylvania, we have that albino red deer. It's just like, pick your poison. But because... Oh, no way. We just hit that one that had already been shot. Just gonna see if we can weigh this guy down with a couple pounds of lead. That'll work. Anyway, because of the aging and the time required, it's really hard to actually you know, hunt all the maps effectively. Hope your mellow moose makes it. I don't know. That video's for like the 22nd or something. I just recorded away the hunter video last night. He's officially an adult, still even, got palmation in his antlers. I really like what I'm seeing. How do you get Classic to be full screen? In the top right, there's a game settings. You can just check full screen, or when you're in game, this works for any game, by the way. Alt, enter, will change you from window mode to full screen. How you doing, love the streams? Doing good. Been very busy prepping content for when we travel for the holidays, but as I always say, better busy than bored. I think I spent 13 hours recording yesterday, but we got some good videos coming up. Excited for all that. Sadly, no Great One Moose today. That is a bit of a bummer. But I don't know, we killed probably 50 more me's. One of these days I gotta look at the kill count before the stream and after and see where we end up. But I do think that is going to be our last kill. So I do need to get back to recording and prepping all the content so that there's going to be videos when we're away. And while I'll say it in the Christmas video, since we're all here live, so everyone that celebrates it, hope you guys have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, safe holiday. And as far as streams go, I will see you sometime around New Year's. Whatever that Friday is, I think the Friday after Christmas. The 29th or something like that. We should be back for a Twitch stream by then. I will hopefully see you all then. As always, thank you for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for all the support. And in the meantime, I'll see you in tomorrow's classic video. Bye!